Rejection. At some point in our lives, we've experienced it. And that also happens in anime. Unless you're a really beautiful girl and you've never had to get rejected for anything ever. The MC gets heartbroken, but one way or another, proves his worth. Confession, rejection, and regret. A typical scenario which only they can turn into a unique masterpiece. For fans of drama and romance anime with a pinch of revenge, here is a list of the best series where the girl regrets rejecting the main character. This is Quote the Anime, and let's get on with the recommendations. And number 12, we have My Monster Secret. Have you ever had a friend that couldn't keep a secret no matter what? Yeah, I got a few. Not even friends, like my family can't keep a secret. It's ridiculous. I remember they caught me once in high school with a girl. My goodness, my aunts in England, India, name it. You name it, every country, Africa. I don't have any family in Africa, but everybody knew. Well, that's basically the same situation Yoko Shiragami is in. But what's the secret? Literally, the title of the anime. The plot revolves around Asahi Kuromine and Yoko Shiragami, who's actually living a double life. On one hand, Yoko is a normal student, but on the flip side, she's a vampire in disguise. Asahi accidentally finds out her secret and she begs him to keep his mouth shut. Though you can find out why it isn't really Yoko that rejects Asahi, but another character named Nagisa Aizawa. Coming up at number 11, we have Nisekoi False Love. Imagine a classic rom-com anime paired with some mystery and thrill. You get Nisekoi. Nisekoi revolves around Raku Ichiju, Chitoge Kirasaki, and Onodera Kosaki. You might be thinking this is one of those typical trashy rom-com anime, but that is not the case, guys. This story starts because of the pendant that Raku wears. It was given to him by a girl he made a promise with during his childhood, and that girl holds the key to opening it. Now, while that's happening, Raku and Chitoge are forced to have a fake relationship to end the feud going on between their families. During a climactic scene, Chitoge loses it all and says things she shouldn't have to Raku. Raku does his best to understand things, but everything goes downhill from there. You can find out the rest. And number 10, we have the case study of Vanitas. Vanitas is an eccentric character with a very complex personality. To take his revenge against the vampire who ruined his life, he decided to save the vampires, whether they liked it or not. That's a little contradicting, I think. He also hates himself and only falls in love with people who will never ever like him back. Okay, he's got the hot girl syndrome. Eventually, he fell in love with the righteous and innocent Jian, the fearsome Hellfire Witch. He confessed his love and was rejected in pure disgust. However, her face turns red every time she sees our boy. Okay, that's a hint. Her heart starts beating faster. She can't understand why she's feeling this. Jian even went after his blood, but why the heck does he look so pretty to her? And number 9, we have Higehiro. Yoshida isn't your typical single Japanese salaryman. He lives alone and the only thing he has going for him is his crush in the office, Airi Goto. Technically, that shouldn't count as something going for someone. That's just somebody else being hot. But when times are tough, we're gonna count everything. So to make things even better, by better I mean worse, luck doesn't smile on Yoshida at all, and things take a turn for even worse. He gets rejected by Airi and loses almost all his motivation. As he was going back home drunk, he found a high school girl named Sayu Ogiwara on the street alone. He accepted her offer and gave her a bed to spend the night on. Who knew that this decision would take him down a rabbit hole he could never get out of? Higehiro isn't your typical rom-com anime. It's wholesome but has deep themes as well. It talks about the value of home, self-worth, and the process of climbing back up from rock bottom. And by the way, due to Sayu's sudden appearance, Airi is starting to get some second thoughts about her decision. You know what I'm saying? Jealousy. The best weapon to make someone fall for you. Moving on to number 8, we have Amagami SS. Junichi Tachibana started having an intense fear of rejection when he was stood up on Christmas Eve by the love of his life. So sad. Ever since then, he hid his true feelings from everyone around him. However, he was love-struck again, but it's not just one girl he's interested in this time, but 5 girls. Okay, one second. He got over his phobia pretty quickly. Between the 5 beauties, it's Haruka he likes the most. He confessed the first time and got turned down, but he didn't give up. You know why? Because he's the main character. He confessed over and over again until the girl finally started seeing him as a potential boyfriend material. When they began going out together, she regretted not giving him a chance earlier. That's how happy she was with him. Adorable, right? And at number 7, we have My First Girlfriend is a Gal. You can describe the MC of this anime as either incredibly stupid or incredibly brave. Let me ask you a question. What's the difference? Because with no self-confidence at all, Junichi Hashiba asked out Yukina Yame. You know those delinquent-looking girls with colored hair and piercings in anime? Take Kitagawa Marin, for example, from My Diss-Up Darling. Of course, just like the title of this video, Junichi was rejected, and he was rejected hard. But lucky for him, Yukina eventually responded, and the two started going out. Junichi was surprised. Heck, I'm still surprised. But their relationship isn't all smooth sailing, and Yukina might just make another decision she'll regret. Floating around at number 6 is Over the Sky. Over the Sky is really for those of you who have childhood friends. It revolves around Mio Miyamasu and Arata Kishimo. Mio actually likes Arata, but she was the one who rejected him. Why do you do that? Like, why would you put yourself in that? Anyways, after saying things she shouldn't have, Mio can't talk to Arata anymore because he decided to keep ignoring her even when she starts the conversations. I think that's fair. What do you guys think? You could really tell that just by watching a clip, she regrets what she said. She does everything to make up with him, but fate has other things in store for them. Hint hint, a fantasy world might just be waiting around the corner sometimes. And at number 5, I want to let you know I love you. Yes, you guys, I love you all. No, but that's also the anime's name. That's an anime. And here we have childhood friends again. It really is one of the most painful experiences. I want to let you know I love you tells the story of 6 main characters. But let's focus on Yusa Taguchi and Natsuki Enomoto. Childhood friends with a sprinkle of love, spicing up their lives. One night, Yu and Natsuki get into an argument that tears a rift in their friendship. Yu is timid, shy, and just wants to protect Natsuki, though she lets her emotions get the best of her and yells at Yu, making him leave. Though the one who confessed here is not Yu, but Natsuki. Natsuki confesses her feelings to Yu. Now, I'm quite unsure if Yu is like dense or just hurt or what's going on with him, but he tells her that she did a good job in her practice attempt. Now, that's just another level of game right there. Let's take notes, guys. Did their fight cause Yu to make that decision? And what will Natsuki do to get her feelings across to him in the right attempt after this practice attempt? And at number 4, we have MASAMUNE-KUN'S Revenge. When Masamune was just a kid, well, I have no way to say this nicely, so I'll be blunt. He was extremely ugly. Yet, he mustered the courage to confess to the most beautiful and most popular girl of the school. You know, guys, in life, we don't get to choose what things we're born with. That's not in our control. But what we do with what we are given and what we have, that is what shows the true beasts. And I commend this guy no matter what happens next, whether he gets rejected or accepted. Now, this is a little sad, but he of course was harshly rejected and nicknamed Piggy by that same girl. Just like that, his middle school life was ruined. As he grew up, all he thought about was revenge. He changed and improved his body, boosted his grades, and tried to enhance his personality. He was the very definition of just get good. Long story short, he became a narcissistic prince. Now that he is ready, he will find the evil human being that made his life hell. He will make her fall in love with him and then throw her away like an old sock in front of everyone. Like that old sock in your room, guys. Come on, put that in the laundry. Masamune will make her regret ever humiliating him. Waiting for us at the top 3 is orange, not the fruit. One day, Naho Takamiya found a weird letter. The sender is herself from 10 years in the future. Believing it was a stupid prank, she read it out of curiosity. All the events that were mentioned started to happen, and she couldn't ignore the truth anymore. The letter was the real thing. The letter stated that 10 years from now, her life would take a wrong turn and she will live miserably. All the regrets that she will have are related to one person though. A transfer student that goes by the name Kakeru Naruse. By the way, guys, we have a video on anime where the MC is an overpowered transfer student. I'll attach it here. Her future self is begging her current self to not make the same mistake. She was given a second chance to fix it, but what does she really do? And how is Kakeru involved in all of this? And at number 2 we have Just Because. Yeah, that's the name of the anime. Because of Eita Izumi's father's work, he had to move a lot. He never stayed in the same place for more than a year, and now he's back in his hometown for his last school semester. His comeback brought back a lot of buried feelings, a lot of regrets, and painful memories for a lot of people. It was especially difficult for Miu Natsume. She had lingering emotions towards Eita, and yet she still refused his confession when he poured his heart out to her. Like, what? Why would you do that? Though it took her only one night to realize the colossal mistake she'd made and ran back to him, but it was too late as she had already hurt him too much. In fear of being hurt once more, Eita didn't want anything to do with the girl ever again. This anime is a bittersweet depiction of youth and how the past can sometimes haunt you even though you've tried to forget it a little over 1,000 times. Some of you know what I'm saying here. And the king of all rejections and regrets. At number 1, we have Golden Time. Banri Tada is suffering from severe amnesia due to a terrible accident. In the beginning, he was desperate to remember his past and was on the brink of depression when he was unable to remember his past. Imagine losing your entire identity and the relationships you have with people. Mitsuo Yanagisawa was the one who saved Banri when he managed to convince him to start fresh. They both enrolled in a law school in Tokyo where he built his own identity while forgetting about his past self. But his new life didn't go as smooth as he thought it would. When Kuko Kaga appeared, she'd be the one to turn his world upside down. An adorable romance chase between two lovebirds made their university life unforgettable. He confessed first when they were only friends, but when she later realized her mistake and crawled back to him, he was already over her. Well, that's what he thought. Just to make sure you guys don't get overly depressed if you decide to watch all of these, I added some refreshing recommendations throughout the list, okay? Rejection doesn't have to be dramatic, guys, in life. Rejection is a part of it. And in fact, if you don't get rejected, you don't really have any stories to tell. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the times I've gotten rejected. But there's stories, and you don't remember the rejections. People only remember the wins. So, rejection doesn't have to be overly dramatic. It's a part of it. It's what makes the wins feel good. Although, I believe that is what you came here for the rejections. Enjoy the emotional clash of feelings to your heart's content. Subscribe and comment. I reply to those. It's your boy Ernie Senpai.